Alright, hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a first impressions of the Ciaté London, the Velvet Eyeshadow Palette. This palette I received in BoxyCharm this month and it is an all new release. So I am very excited to try it out on camera for you guys. I already swatched one shade in my BoxyCharm unboxing and it's very soft, very pigmented, so I'm eager to see how these perform with brushes. So if you want to see my first impressions and try on of this eyeshadow palette, keep on watching. Alright, so I already went ahead and primed my eyelids with the Morphe eyelid primer. I think I want to try and use as many colors as possible, so I think I'm going to start out with this light peach. It kind of looks like a matte, and I'm just going to take a Morphe M441 and try and put this all over my crease. Just tapping it, there is some fallout, but that's kind of expected because these are very soft eyeshadows, so I'm not surprised. Hopefully this applies nicely though. And just starting to buff it out. It's very light, this shade in particular, on my eyelid. So I'm going to build this up a little bit and see where I can take it. Okay, I'm starting to get some. I think this color is a matte. I'm just going to continue to build until I'm happy with how it looks. I'm going to drag out my eyeshadow a little bit. I think this looks pretty good for this eye, and then I'm going to do my other eye. Okay, so now that both my eyelids look pretty good with the light peach shade, I'm going to take a different blending brush. I think I'm going to go in with this Moda Pro BMX 430 crease brush. One of my all-time favorites, also was in BoxyCharm. And I think I'm going to stick with like the peaches, so I'm going to take this medium tone peach coral shade and I'm just going to place that beneath the first shade I put down. There's less fallout on this one. Alright, so this one appeared on my skin a bit faster than the other one did, probably because it's a darker tone. But it's blending out super nice. I don't have any issues with how it's blending out. So I'm getting a nice peach gradient in my crease. If I look up close, I don't think I see any fallout from the matte shades themselves yet. And now I think I'm going to go in with a Morphe M433 and I'm going to start deepening my crease. And I'm going to take this, I'm just going to place this in like the outer corner and inner crease too, just to continue to deepen and intensify. And wow, that is a very pretty color combination. Like, it's a very warm eye. It does look a little bit patchy, but it might be my brush and how it's picking up the color. So I'm just gonna try and disperse it a bit more. Okay, so now I'm going to take the deepest warm brown shade in the palette and I'm going to work this in the outer part of my crease, just on the same Morphe M433 brush and the outer V, and just continue to deepen it up. I'm doing a very basic eyeshadow shape today, nothing too fancy. And that's creating a bit more dimension, so it's not just completely warm and orange. One thing I do notice about these eyeshadows is that you can build them up a bit. So they go on pretty light and blendable, but if you want like more intense color, you can continue to add to it to intensify it. And now I'm just going to take the Moda Pro crease brush and make sure my crease is nice and blended before I put on the lid color. Would it be weird to try purple on here? Actually, I'm just going to go for it and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to take a flat shading brush and I'm just going to dip into this purple. I don't know if it's going to look good or if it's not going to look good, but we're going to see what happens. And this is a shimmer. And, oh, shoot. This one is very soft. I got some on my sweatshirt, so I would recommend like being cautious with that one and not pressing too hard. Okay, but I just shook it off my sweatshirt, so hopefully we're fine. And yeah, I picked up a lot. Probably picked up a little too much with the brush, so I'm just gonna tap it off. And now I am going to apply it to my lid, and we'll see. Wow, that shimmer is gorgeous. It's very intense, and I didn't even wet the brush. And the way it applies is just very smooth. And I really do love like the purple with the warm coral and the brown. Like it surprisingly looks really pretty. And then I'm just gonna apply it to my other lid as well. Like instant pigment as soon as you swipe down on your lid. And now I think I want to get a little bit fancy. I really want to take like this really intense sparkly shade and pat it all over the inner part of my lid and see what happens. If I can get like a bit of that shimmer to transfer and what it looks like on top. That's really pretty. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it definitely adds something. Can you see it? You know what? I'm just gonna put this all over the color I just placed on because I love the effect that it brings so much. I'm not sure if it's adding much color, but like the different shimmers or pigments are really making a difference. And the fallout is a bit more noticeable with this one just because it is more shimmery of a shade. So I'm getting a little bit of shimmers on my face, but it's so pretty. All right, now I think I'm gonna clean up some of the fallout. I'm just going to take a little cotton pad and some micellar water and just squeeze it out and rub beneath my eyes to swipe away any of the fallout. Actually, there's quite a bit of fallout, mainly from that shimmer shade, as well as the purple I first put on the lid. Okay, so I think I got most of the fallout off, and then the rest I'll just end up covering with foundation. So I think I'm going to do the under eye next and keep it very simple. I'm going to go in with the peach shade and just put this all over my lower lash line with a Morphe M506. And then I'm going to go into that orangey brown shade and work it closer to my lash line. And last but not least, I think I'm going to take this pencil brush from Lavish and go into that deep brown shade and just concentrate that on the outer third to half of my lower lash line. Alright, so I think this is it for my eyeshadow look. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my face makeup off camera and I'll be back with my final thoughts. Alright, I'm back and I just finished off my makeup and I have my final thoughts on the Ciaté London, the Velvet eyeshadow palette. So first off, I think this palette was pretty good overall. The layout is nice, the packaging is nice, and the colors are really pretty. The mattes were pretty easy to blend. I think they could have been a little bit more pigmented, but they applied it very smoothly. I also think they were a bit dry compared to like the shimmers, which was an interesting contrast. And then in comparison, the shimmers that I tried were super soft, definitely more fallout than the mattes themselves, especially if you are not careful and you pack too much on. Like, you could definitely get some fallout like I did on my cheek. And the shimmer, absolutely gorgeous. It added some dimension to my lid when I applied on top of the shimmer, but unfortunately that was the shade that had the most fallout just because it was a chunkier type of like shimmer or glitter. So overall, I think this was a really good palette. If you enjoy shades like this, if you enjoy the color story, like definitely pick it up. If you have a bunch of other like eyeshadow palettes with similar tones, maybe you can pass on this. Personally, I think even though that this is a good palette, their New England palette is much better and more versatile, and it came in BoxyCharm like a few months ago, and I've been using it for a bunch of other tutorials, and honestly, like, I prefer that one to this one. But still, this was an overall good palette. Alright, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my first impressions. If you tried this eyeshadow palette out, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn on the bell for post notifications. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Valentina, and I upload 3 times a week. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.